Thought scrolling was harmless until I realized I wasn't disconnecting from the world. I was disappearing from my own life. I am a 28-year-old man, and for the last 5 years, my phone was essentially glued to my palm. Every second, every awkward pause in a room, every single night before my eyes forced themselves shut, I was endlessly flicking my thumb upward. I thought I was just relaxing, just unwinding after long shifts as a senior warehouse supervisor. The reality was much darker. I was completely tuning out the people who actually mattered. My wife, Sarah, would be sitting right across from me at the dinner table trying to tell me about her day, her dreams, or her anxieties. And I would just nod blindly, my eyes locked onto the glowing screen, waiting for her to stop talking so I could give a quick half-baked response. I was only listening to reply, never to actually understand. Evening, Sarah stood up quietly, packed a single suitcase, and left a note on the counter that read, "You are physically here, but you have been gone for years." That baseline realization completely shattered me. I looked around our quiet, empty living room and felt a profound, terrifying wave of isolation. I knew right then that I had to complete change. I turned my phone entirely off, placed it inside a drawer, and committed to a radical shift. The first few days were agonizingly difficult. The absolute silence in the house felt heavy, almost claustrophobic. My hand would automatically quit toward an empty pocket every few minutes, seeking that constant flood of digital noise. But as the days turned into weeks, something incredible started to happen. My mind began to settle. I stopped frantically searching for the next thing to say or the next distraction to consume. I began walking through my neighborhood, simply absorbing the sounds around me. Wind in the trees, the distant hum of traffic, the actual rhythm of real life. I realized that true silence isn't empty, it is incredibly full. I started visiting my parents, sitting on their porch, and for the first time in a decade, I just listened to them. I didn't interrupt, I didn't look for an opening to tell my own stories, I just let their words breathe. Began to hear the subtle fatigue in my father's voice and the quiet pride in my mother's stories, things I had completely missed when I was perpetually distracted. A month later, I asked Sarah to meet me at a local coffee shop. When she sat down, she looked guarded, expecting the same defensive, fast-talking man she left. Instead, I said nothing. I just looked at her, truly present. Began to talk cautiously at first, detailing how lonely she had felt and how much pain my digital absence had caused. I sat in complete, absolute silence, absorbing every single word, every painful truth, letting the weight of my past actions wash over me. For the first time, I wasn't formatting a counter-argument or a defensive excuse in my head. I was just understanding. When she finally finished, tears were welling in her eyes, surprised that I hadn't cut her off once. I gently reached across the table, took her hand, and whispered that I was finally back. True connection doesn't come from the loudest voice or the quickest reply. It comes from having the discipline to be absolutely quiet, because when you master the art of true silence, you finally begin to hear what is unspoken.